Euro, interesting. Okay, interesting. It hit our downward target here on the weekly chart within pips. Just hit it, went down a couple more pips, and then a big move to the upside. Why the big move to the upside? Well, we chose this target because we suspected this is where the institutions were going to be taking profits on their short positions. How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is your CFTC report for the data that was recorded on July 12th, 2022. Here's a brief snapshot of the positions held by the institutions as of that date. And so let's begin by taking a look at gold. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Time for another session. We're going to take a look at the positions held by the banks, and as you can see, lots been happening over the last few days, last few weeks. Gold dropping big time. Let's look at the gold chart here and the data. What do we see when we take a look? Take a look at those numbers. You see that? You know how we've been talking about them taking profits on long positions, and don't you dare get in long gold because they're going to drop it. Look at the drop in long positions. 270, 268. 267, 251. Okay, you see how strong? We've been warning you about this for quite some time. Now look at short positions. Increase 95, 111, 104, 111, 122, and now 133,000. Look at the number compared to the average. 133, average 104. Way over average size for shorts. Way below average size for longs. So what does that tell you? That tells you they've been taking profits on long positions and preparing to adding short positions in preparation for a much larger move to the downside. And you know what's the really interesting thing? Back at the end of June, we had Goldman Sachs raising their forecast on gold up to $2,500. Meanwhile, what have they been doing? Taking profits on long positions. So now you see the big move. Just like so. So as that is taking place, what do you think retail are doing? Well, obviously they've been going long. They've been going long out throughout here and all throughout here. They've been going long. Now recently they're getting a little bit more short, which tells me the market likely is going to turn around at some point and head higher. And it's interesting because we have been looking at other pairs, currency pairs that are correlated with gold, and we are seeing something similar. So let's move on. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oil. Look at oil. Long positions 396, 394, 375 closing long positions, and short positions increasing 96, 114, and then just recently a little bit of a drop. So they're not doing much in terms of their positions there. We are still in the range. Price just dropped down to institutional demand. And then we see the buying coming in on oil, but still in the range on oil. So we're not expecting much to happen with oil for the next few months or so. Okay, US dollar. Take a look here. Look at their long positions, okay? They were aggressive. Last 2 weeks, they've been closing long positions. Interesting, right? This is somewhat timed with the contract expirations, which happened back in June 14, 2022. Look, they really cooled off with their short positions, but recently, look what they've done. 11, 13, 12. Closing off long positions, slowly increasing shorts. What do we see with price action? A big wick here on the monthly candle. And if we look at the weekly, we can see price is reacting by pulling back. So one thing I will point out is that there is institutional supply that is in play right now. So if there was going to be a drop in price, it would be happening from these highs. So interesting that we see that with the dollar, and interesting what we're seeing with gold. Okay, so just keep that in mind here. Aussie shorts were aggressive, take profits on their shorts. Missed our monthly target by a matter of pips down here on the weekly chart. Same thing you can see over here on the monthly chart, just missed our targets by pips, and now we're getting a push to the upside. So there's a very good chance that we can see a continued move to the upside since they are closing off their short positions. USCAD supply is still in play. Okay, still holding. And look at short positions. 45, 45, 41. They are the more aggressive position since contracts expired back in June 14. And longs, they are not focused on longs. So shorts being the aggressive, we could see a drop in price form here at any moment. US Swiss, look at longs, very cooled off. Shorts just jumped up from 3,000 to 7,000. And what do we have here? We still have supply in play. And remember what we were seeing with the dollar? Okay. There could be a drop coming up here very soon with that supply still in play. So we'll be watching for that one. Euro, interesting. Okay. Interesting. It hit our downward target here on the weekly chart within pips. Just hit it, went down a couple more pips, and then a big move to the upside. Why the big move to the upside? Well, we chose this target because we suspected this is where the institutions were going to be taking profits on their short positions. Okay? So we won't know that for a fact until we see next week's data, but what we can see is that long positions went from 189 to 197, and then this past week, they kept it the same at 197. Meanwhile, short positions, you can see how they were aggressively adding to their short positions, 200, 213, 222. Very aggressive. Likely next week's data, we'll see some profit taking place, but we have to wait to see that data. Okay. We could see a move to the upside here. Okay. We could see a move to the upside begin to form because of institutional demand coming into play, them taking profits. And an interesting thing too is, if you look at what retail have been doing, they were aggressively long as price was dropping. But what I can see lately is that they've been getting into more short positions. So what will likely happen is a push to the upside here, where the retail traders will get in aggressively short. They'll be caught on the wrong side of the trade. And then when they are mostly short, the banks will reverse price to the downside. So keep an eye on that. Pound, same thing with pound. We see that there's a reaction to the upside. How long is that going to sustain itself? We don't know, but what's going to happen here is going to happen on the Euro chart. And as we've always pointed out, they've always been more aggressive with their short positions than they have with their longs. And retail sentiment is becoming more bearish, okay? It wasn't this bearish just a couple weeks ago or even last week, but it's starting to get there. US dollar, Japanese yen, they've always been so short, okay? They're starting to get a little bit more long now, but again, they're getting in late to the game, right? Look what's in play here, supply. Could there be a push to the downside? Yes, there could. I would not want to be getting in long at this point. Looking at their positions, they are not aggressive at all with their short positions. They've just been focused on long positions, as you can clearly see. All right? But over the last few weeks, they've been closing off some of their long positions, 102, 94, 89, just recently bumping them back up. I think next week will be a little bit more telling when we take a look at the positions that they're holding. Okay? Kiwi, same thing as the Aussie, hitting some demand. Great pressure to the upside will come into play now. And since we're seeing pressure to the upside with the Euro, Pound, and Aussie, we suspect that there's probably going to be a little push to the upside here as well. Kiwi, when you look at the institutions or retail traders, they're mostly long, okay? They're starting to get in short. But the banks are probably going to push price up here. If you look at the long positions, they're very cooled off. Shorts are more aggressive. Coloration of the cells, somewhat neutral. So it's not really a good time to be trading this pair anyways. Okay, ladies and gents, so that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe to get our latest videos. And yeah, you can also reach us at www.whiteoakfx.com. We got a blog. Make sure to join that. Sign up for the newsletter. Get all the exclusive analysis sent to you where you will not find this anywhere else. Okay? Great. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.